So I was having an argument with my friends yesterday on the impact of AI on jobs, and we dug out two important data that inspired this video. According to Emperor Research, nearly 40% of Americans can't afford an emergency expense over $400. And according to Lowell, a third of UK adults have less than £500 in emergency savings. This is fundamentally a problem in any way, shape, or form. And this is my short take on emergency fund. Here are 5 steps process to ensure you're on the safe side because the next 5 years might be more chaotic than you expected. Step number 1, determine how much you need in emergency fund. The rule of thumb is 3 to 6 months of your living expenses. You need a 3 months emergency fund if you have a stable job, you have dual income, and you have low expenses. 6 months if you are self-employed, you have irregular income and you have high expenses. And 12 months if you are in a high risk industry or you have a lot of dependents. Now, this is how you just calculate your emergency fund. List all of your expenses that are need based. Multiply the amount that you need for those expenses by the number of months you need an emergency fund. This gives an idea of how much you need in emergency fund. For example, if you say your baseline expenses is $1,000 every month, you multiply by 6 months of emergency fund that you need, that gives you $6,000 that you need in emergency fund. Then step number 2, open a dedicated savings account for this emergency fund. For example, high yield savings account is going to help, money market account is going to help, and some no fees account that depending on your region or your country, you're going to see a lot of this. Then step number 3, start small and build gradually. You have to automate this. Every month you have to automate a process where your main account balance is being debited and credited into this emergency fund account. Then you have to allocate windfalls like allowances or bonuses you are paid at work or on your job. You can always dedicate that to your emergency fund. And of course, you can just cut your expenses. That's going to help you to a large extent. And step number 4, you prioritize this your emergency fund. Do not invest if you do not have emergency fund. Regardless whatever they tell you, real estate, crypto, stocks, whatever, don't listen until you get your emergency fund right. And get rid of high interest rate debt like all this credit card debt, payday loan, those high interest rate debt. Get rid of them as fast as you can. That way you can have a lot of money in your emergency fund. And step number 5, keep your fund liquid. It should be a fund you can access in 24 hours or you can access right now. Do not invest it or go and keep it in any crypto backed asset, whatever they tell you. Don't listen to that. So here are the 5 steps process to ensure you're on the safe side, because I cannot guarantee you that the next 5 years is going to be nice to all of us. It's never going to be nice, and you should start to prep for that.